Hey, good morning, everyone. Dave Wilson of the Ring of Hire show. Hey, listen, today I got a great guest, Joanne Papric of Legal Shield and ID Shield. I thought it'd be a great show today to talk about with identity theft. And, hi, Joanne, how's it going over there?
Hi, how are you?
All right, good. She's in William Township, PA. We'll be right after this video. To this day, I still love that video. You feel like
I love it. It's so powerful.
It's intense, right? Hey, good morning, everyone. I wanted to introduce Joanne Papric to you, and the reason I wanted to do this show is because with all the things going on with COVID and identity theft and social security numbers I see online. But you know what, Joanne, why don't you introduce yourself and what you do?
Okay. So what I do is something that can help everyone, and I think that everyone needs it. So right now, especially right now, we all need to know our rights. We all need to know with everything going on and what we're being told, and especially with the COVID situation. So what I do is I help people have access to lawyers, a team of lawyers.
Now that's Legal Shield, right? That's the Legal Shield part.
Correct. And they can call these lawyers 100 times a day, every day, on a different matter, and not get billed. So we protect and empower people. I actually recently had a scenario where I needed to call Legal Shield because of something going on with the masks with COVID. But I'll get into that in a little bit. We basically are a team of lawyers that we're in 50 states. We're in also Canada, and we have one law firm per state. And basically, it's a membership that you pay. It's a subscription base. And with that subscription base, you have access to a team of lawyers in any area of law. And from advice, from doing your will, from moving violations, from being sued, from needing to sue someone, we offer everything. And I'll get more into detail how that works.
So what is the main thing I liked about it, is we've talked a couple times, is having a teenage son or a teenage daughter driving in a car, and what does Legal Shield do for them?
So basically, a lot of teenagers speeding, right? They're just learning how to drive. They make mistakes. They're getting into fender benders. Hopefully that's all they're getting into. And a lot of times they don't know what to do, what to say. They get nervous, they panic. And the best thing to do is there's an emergency button on the app, and they can call the attorney. The attorney picks up, and you tell them what your situation is and what just has happened. And they tell you what to do. And they say, tell the police officer you have an attorney on the phone. And
that fast?
Oh, yeah, immediately. They pick up immediately, because that's what that button is for. It's for an emergency. And it's for after hours as well, because, law firms don't stay open till midnight, right? 1 o'clock, 2 in the morning. So if you're being detained or in an accident, or again, something's happening, you're a college student and you're at a frat party, or you're partying, you're away at college, something happens, call an attorney. And it doesn't matter where you are. And that's the great thing. Let's say you live in New York, but you go to school and, you go to Penn State, or you go somewhere in Boston. So it goes wherever you are,
Let's put a picture up here. Image right here for the phone.
Yeah.
And can you explain that right there?
Yeah, so this here, can we make this bigger?
No, I don't think so with this screen here, but we'll put everything on at the end. They can see the phone app.
Okay. So this here, if you look at this app, this is the phone app. This is what it looks like. And if you look right here where this red right here, this is where it tells you to, you click this on the app and it takes you to the lawyer when you're in an emergency situation.
Well, what else happens? I mean, what do you also get with on the Legal Shield besides, with the phone app, your legal rights, and what are some scenarios other than that it would be useful for?
I love bragging about this. And I know it's I could tell you a lot about it.
You're passionate.
Yes, very passionate. So on the app as well, if you look at the choices, there's also a button to press to start doing your will, which I think we all need a will, right? Everybody needs to write a will. And if you think, you only have to write a will if you have a lot of money or own a lot of property, that isn't true. You want to have a will. You could be 18 years old and do your will. God forbid you're in an accident. Who do you want to make your medical, decisions? What do you want those decisions to be? This helps a lot of problems in the family, prevents a lot of fighting and arguing, right? Because the person already, it's like a love letter to the person, told you what they want and who they want to make those decisions. So I think that being said, that this includes your will to get it done right away as soon as you become a member.
They do the will and then it goes to an attorney for review.
So so you do your will. You can fill it out. You can now, if you're not computer savvy or tech savvy, you can fill it out on the old-fashioned way. But most people fill it out. An attorney calls you. You review it, get it notarized, and all that great stuff, and it's good. And you can renew it every year at no charge.
So when you talked about, with the phone app and access in case something happens at night, or what does when they call an attorney, it's not that you'll get the attorney advice, right? So if you need an attorney, then you can hire through them, right?
Oh, you can also, yeah. So I'll get to that. So everything I'm saying is included in the service, where you can call them on different issues 5 times a day. It could be a different matter and not get billed. And with that, after you discuss, when you call and you call the lawyer, you don't only have to call for advice. There may be something that's happening, and the lawyer can make phone calls and write letters for you on your behalf, and that's also included if they feel that that's necessary. They may not. They may just say, this is what you do. Here's the advice. Here's the legal advice. Take this route, and you'll be fine. But the lawyers may feel, okay, this is what you're going through. We'll write a letter to the company. Let's say, for example, let me give you an example as far as cell phones. Okay, my cousin didn't have service on his cell phone, so his cell phone was not working for a very long time, and he was still getting billed. And it was a back and forth situation with the cell phone company, and he ended up canceling his service. And when you cancel before you have to pay for the phone, you have to pay. It was $500 or something. So he wasn't getting through to anyone. So he ended up calling Legal Shield. Now, would we really call a lawyer in certain circumstances? No, because it's so costly. So now with Legal Shield, knowing you have this subscription base for 20 something bucks a month, you have an attorney in the palm of your hand. So he called the attorney. The attorney called the cell phone company, wrote a letter, and called them. And guess what? It was all taken care of within that phone call. So it's so powerful to receive something from a letterhead from a law firm or for firm. You know what I'm saying? They know that they're the rights. They know what they're doing. We really don't. We sit there, we'll fight. They'll send us to all these different people. They'll give us the runaround, and we don't know. We get angry, whatever, and we end up probably paying for the bill.
I can imagine how that works because the smallest things, at least you're getting advice.
Sorry.
You're going to get advice. So that's what I like about it. It's just like you said, with a phone. How many people would call an attorney for that?
Right.
Nobody.
Right. Would you call an attorney if a dry cleaning company ruined
No.
your $100 silk shirt?
No.
No, but guess what? When you have Legal Shield, you can, because a friend of mine did, and she got her $100. But the company was telling her, the cleaning service said, we'll give you $10. She's like, $10? It's a silk shirt. She had the receipt and everything of how much money she paid. And Legal Shield called. She called Legal Shield just for that. And she got $100.
And they probably, small companies would probably be like, whoa, when they get something from an attorney for something like that.
Yeah.
You know, and you said that, I mean, we still have a lot to go over, but you had said that you offer this to family plans, you offer through corporations. Last week you went to another corporation. You'll do presentations. Can you explain how that works?
Yeah, so well, should I tell you how that works, or should I continue with the service of what we offer?
Yeah, go ahead with the service. That's fine.
Okay.
Yep.
And then we'll go with because with the app, we do speed moving violations.
Okay.
So there's a button also, if you can put up the screen there's a button on the app here. I
Right.
can't see it for me. I believe it's this one or this one. You click on that, you take a picture of the speeding ticket that you got or the moving violation that you got, and it uploads right into the law firm, and then the law firm calls you within 4 to 8 hours, and they schedule to go in court for you to fight the bill.
That's
Fight it. I mean, it's
insane.
awesome. And my sister actually just got pulled over driving from my house to New York on the Belt Parkway. She was going home and she got a moving violation. She was going, she was speeding. And she did it right away, right then and there, where the police officer gave it to her. And then she said within 2 hours, the lawyer called her and they scheduled an appointment where he will be representing her in court. And again, that's included. And, when you go in with a lawyer to a courtroom, you're first to be seen, and it helps you a lot. And, you're not guaranteed that you're going to not get the ticket, but what guarantees is no points on your license. And that's big. You don't want points on your license and your insurance going up. So,
Wow.
I think that it's a win-win.
I still like it because I've said to you before, just for the family, to protect your family, and your child. That's the way I really want to look at it. Is my daughter's driving it late at night and all she does is push a button.
Right.
How old she is, whether she's 15, 20, 25, 30, it doesn't matter.
It's for adults too. So to your question, as far as families and corporations, so we definitely do for family, and we cover up to, I believe it's 8 to 10 people in the family, the children up to the age of 26, and up until they're in college living at home. And if you have any child in the home that has any disabilities, they're covered under Family for Life. And the corporations that we go into businesses and we offer it as a voluntary benefit to their employees. So the owner has the option of doing a fringe benefit, or so they could either pay for all of it. The employee can pay for fully, or the owner may say, I'll pay for half as a benefit, or all of it. They may offer identity theft, because we do that as well. So it's up to the discretion of the owner of the company, how they
That makes total sense. And I know you said you went out to a customer and like you do Zoom calls. You'll do a Zoom call with your company. That's the only way sometimes you can really get into there. But I bet you enjoy that, right?
I do. I actually just recently did a city hall in Forks Township, and they have new employees coming into to their place. So they called me to drop off some flyers and then eventually make an appointment for any questions and to do a presentation.
And that makes total sense because, the way things or jobs are demanding, and companies are trying to figure out different things that they can offer besides increasing their pay rate for $2 to $3. But with all the perks, I could see this, and it's not as expensive as everybody thinks. You could offer this to a family, your coworkers and your team, and it's a great perk.
Right.
Knowing that they can do this.
And the great thing is when you offer it to a company and you get it as a voluntary benefit, and let's say you don't stay with that company, you can take it with you and still pay the same discount price, the group price, because it's discounted when it's a group price for a company. by a
Right.
lot. It's so much cheaper. So you can take that with you with that same price. And we never increase our prices. So we've been around for 48 years. So anybody who's got Legal Shield 48 years ago when we were $5 a month is still paying that today. Meanwhile, they're getting the same service that I'm getting, paying $24 a day. I mean, a month.
A
Yeah.
month. And that, I'm gonna have to apologize. Joanne's from New York, so if you haven't noticed her accent, she's in William Township. She's a great friend and colleague, but that's why she's in New York. So I won't hold that against you. But no, that's awesome. And I know we want to get to the real part of the show, and that's ID Shield. So there's two parts, right? There's your Legal Shield and your ID Shield. We're going to start off talking about with the ID Shield, but you have choices for both, right?
Right, it's a la carte. You can do one or the other, or you could do both.
Okay.
I have both. I think identity theft is so important. I have my children protected. I have their social security protected. Credit cards, banks, anything. Your identity, your driver's license, your passport, social security. I have all that protected for all of us. And if we do have a cyber attack or an identity theft, in that case, we get immediate alerts on my app. There's also an app for the ID Shield, which I love. I click on it, and it basically just tells me if I have an alert, if something just recently happened, and it says call us, or just check yes or no if I'm aware of this. I love it.
And that's what I like about this one. ID Shield, to me, is just as important, because the things that we'll talk about and you're going over with, it's all about family and protecting yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, it's all about that. And with everything going on, I've told you, I've been on the job boards on social media and companies. I've seen people, listen, somebody put my social security number in, they're utilizing it. Let's just start off and explain what ID Shield is versus the Legal Shield.
So ID Shield just protects your identity. It's identity theft protection. And Legal Shield is having access to a law firm, a group of attorneys. So the ID Shield, what I love is that we also have we don't just have regular Joe Schmo guys picking up the phone from reading off something. We have actual private investigators. They're licensed and they're trained. So these aren't just someone being trained to read off of something and reading off something and trying to help you. They literally, and what they do is we have 100% restoration, which is awesome.
That's what I want you to explain. This is amazing for anybody that's never utilized this. This is the amazing part.
It is. And no other company with identity theft protection has 100% restoration, which means they restore your identity back to pre-status theft, no matter what the cost. So a lot of companies have a cap, or they have a limit to what they'll do for you and what they will cover you. We don't have a cap. I mean, if you look at what we cover from, every angle possible, even to your social media, everything.
That's what's amazing. And the main thing, again, I want everybody to know is, I always think when we've talked over and over about family. So take, for instance, your children, my son,
right?
They have their social security number. Your children go in there also. Mm-hmm. So what would be the process? Because I don't know whether Cash has, my son has a background of somebody's taken his social security number.
And you won't know until he's probably 18 years old. And he goes to buy his first car, goes to college, and you use the social security number, and they find out that he's wanted, or he's bankrupt. Imagine finding out your son is bankrupt and they owe this, some amount of money. So I try to explain to people that I know they think, oh, my children, the child's social security number is already being sold by the time they're born. It's being sold and it's being used. So
and that's what's happening in unemployment right now. A lot of people.
Right. And so for 18 years, your child social security will be used. So they will be buying houses, accumulating debt, bankruptcy, you name it, purchasing things while you are home sleeping, not knowing what is going on. So I think
then you put your whole family on it and their social security numbers, like your daughter, your son, everybody goes on there. So you would get an alert for your family member that somebody's utilizing your son or daughter's social security number.
Right, because what they do is they have it on the black market or the dark web, whatever they call it, and they have it on there, and they'll monitor it. Because we all are on there. It's an algorithm. So I want to give yesterday. I know this is a credit card situation, but I went
Right.
I went yesterday to the vet for my dog, and I came back and I got an automatic fraud alert. $1,100 was charged a minute later on my credit card right after I paid for. So when we called, they asked me to call the vet and see if did they take your card, and did it take them a while to return it to you, or they give it to you right away. They were asking all these questions because they wanted to find out if it happened in there, if someone stole my number who works there. So it ended up, they found that with a minute later, someone from Australia used my credit card number. It was $1,100. I don't remember what they said they purchased. How did they get my card number? How did that happen? Do you understand? Like, this is not, we laugh about it. But this is happening. It's real.
Right.
And thank God we have this protection. Now, with your credit cards, they provide you fraud alert automatically. Right. This is more for your identity.
And what I like about it is, you told me, and I couldn't believe, like, my identity was stolen. Mm-hmm. The time it takes for me to take off of work, yes, 2 or 3 days, you have to invest, you got to do, I can't even imagine how long it takes. But you said they'll restore everything for you.
Yes, it's a 40-hour work week to restore your identity. It is very stressful. You have to take off of work. It's costly. So you may have to hire lawyers depending on what it is. If they stole your social security number and they've been working under your social security number for how many years, you have to go and prove. So to prove something, you need an attorney. So what I love about this, depending on what service you have with us, you also get insurance, which means it comes with it automatically. You have up to $25,000 that if you have identity theft with us, they'll cover up to $25,000 of the cost of what it takes to restore your identity. They cover up to. And then if you have there's a 3-bureau service we have, they cover up to $1 million. But again, little people like us don't need that. That's more for the big corporations, I would assume. But if you want it, you can have it.
But you said also, what I like about, again, is it just makes total sense, is say it doesn't matter how the age of you're buying a home, and you know how you got to go out and get your credit report. And you got, all of a sudden you notice something on you're like, whoa, wait a minute here. Right in the middle of closings. It's happened when I had a closing. I had something on there that I had to take care of. I owed something $50 at a court thing for my business part. And I didn't know about it.
Right.
But if anything's on there that's really stands out, they'll help you with that, right?
Yes. Anything that stands out, anything that they see that, is this you? And you're like, no, they immediately nip it in the bud and they take care of it. Yes. I mean, it's to me, I feel with the attorneys, I feel empowered. I recently had an issue with masks, which I mentioned earlier, and I did actually a Facebook video in regards to it, because a lot of parents also didn't know what to do and what they were going through with their children in sports. But my kids are on the soccer field wearing masks on a beautiful, sunny, 80-degree weather day. And, they can't breathe. They're sweating. Their masks are all dirty and wet from the sweat. And I basically was like, this is wrong. Why are they wearing a mask? They're outside in the sun. Like, what's going on here? Long story short, they told me that this is when I approached the coach and I called the commissioner, they told me that this is a mandate and this is how it is. There's nothing I can do about it, basically.
Right.
Well, I found out otherwise, and they obviously didn't know the laws. So I called Legal Shield, and they advised me that they do not have to wear the mask, and there's something called Section 3A and 3B, and they basically says that if it exasperates an existing condition, if the kid if it affects them mentally, the kid can't breathe, they do not have to wear a mask, nor do we have to show proof of why they don't have to wear a mask.
And that makes total sense. It's all protecting your family, really. Really.
So my kids now don't wear the mask, and they're outside playing, and they're performing a lot better because they can breathe.
There again, I'm going to go back to, it's all about family.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, it's to protect. And I know we've said it before, but like even the dark web, a lot of people don't even realize what goes on there is your same thing. Your information is all there.
Yeah.
It's all there for people don't realize even on social media. And you even said that. So if there's something going on with social media, somebody's using what, your name, your social security, if they've opened a business, is that what that
Oh,
basically?
they could do so many things. They could buy houses. They can commit crimes. They can have a driver's license and commit crime in a different state, and you won't even know it until you get. Let's say you're driving in that state, and they already have like a wanted thing, and they're like, oh, it's happened to a friend of mine actually, and he had to prove it wasn't him by opening his shirt. He didn't have a tattoo. The criminal had a tattoo. He didn't have the tattoo, and that's how they knew it wasn't him, by a tattoo. So, I mean, and he didn't even live there. I think it happened I don't know if it was in Arizona or Georgia it happened.
Right.
Yeah. He was just driving on vacation with his family.
So when you sign up for Legal Shield, ID Shield, you're putting it all in there. You're putting all your information. Is that a long process to do, or it's just about your family members, right? You're just putting your family members' information on it, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's so simple. I mean, you can do it. You go on my website and you click on the plan that you want and you just fill it in. You type in whatever it is you need, and it's that simple.
And I want everybody to know that after the show here that we put together a packet, Joanne did, and we're going to share it on LinkedIn and on both of our formats here. So this way, if there's any questions, you can reach out to Joanne on LinkedIn. I put her email on here, reach out. And Joanne, you can handle everybody from any state. It doesn't matter, right?
Correct. We're everywhere. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And they just they call you or email you, and they go to your website and they just sign up. That's that easy.
It's that easy. And again, I would be their agent, but I wouldn't be able to, if they have any legal questions, I can't answer those. I'm not authorized to do that.
Right.
But they would, if they have any problems as far as the membership is concerned, as far as getting in contact with anyone, that's when they would call me.
All right. Well, this is, wow, almost 30 minutes already. See how long it goes long?
Yeah.
All right. So if you had, we have a minute left here, and just say, why you believe in Legal Shield, why you believe in ID Shield, why you have that passion, what is it about it that stands out for you?
What stands out for me is, again, I feel empowered and protected. So
right, there's the words. That's the key words. I like that. Empowered
and protected.
Empowered and protected. Everybody listen to that. Empowered and protected. That sums it all up right there, really.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, again, feeling empowered because I have a team of lawyers who have my back, and I don't have to worry about the cost. And isn't that one of the things that people worry about? Isn't cost the thing that holds you back from calling a lawyer? Cost.
Oh, with me, because they know it's right off. It's oh my God, when I first started, it's like $500-600 just to have an hour. That's like about an hour. That's it.
Oh my God, yes, it's gone up, and I feel like, wow, I just called a lawyer. I was on the phone with her 3 times, a half hour each time, and I didn't get billed. And she was explaining everything to me about our rights with the masks and all that stuff. And when I presented this to the coaches and said, you know what, my kid's good, but if anything happens to my kid while they're on the field playing, I can sue you. Once they know that, and once they know that they're a liability, things started to change a little bit, and they don't say anything to you now. So I think that it's so empowering, and it makes you feel great. And I feel good knowing my identity is in the hands of private investigators, that I know that I'm not going to have to do the work and worry and cry and, oh my God, my social security, my passport, my drive. I don't have to worry about that stuff, because they nip it in the butt. As soon as it happens, it's nipped in the butt before it can become something major and big and costly. So,
that brings me, I always think of questions while you're talking. And I wanted to ask you again, I remember if all of a sudden something just happens to you about your social security, can they call you right away and sign up? Is that possible? Or is it you got to be signed up before you get any of the perks? Like something happens, can they call you right away and sign up?
So that's a really good question. So with Legal Shields, if you have an out of courtroom issue before you sign up, you can sign up and they can take care of it. I know that.
Right.
With ID Shields, if something does happen and you sign up, Yeah, I think you still can. And it also, I think it depends on the severity, if I'm not mistaken. If
It
you
would imagine that, yeah.
Yeah, but they do. They will help you if there might be an extra charge or not, but I don't think so. They will take it on. I'm sure. I'm trying to remember. I haven't had that question asked in a while, but yes.
Fine, and I'm sure we'll put it on there afterwards too.
Yeah.
And the last thing also is, what is like an average price per family? Like an average, you know, what does that run for a family?
So it's
If
about,
you had to say average.
for a whole family, it's about $15, $15.95, I believe, a month to cover. It covers a family of 8.
For those are separate, right? Legal Shield and ID, so you can cater it. I mean,
A la carte.
choose a la carte.
Right, a la carte. So for a family for Legal Shield with lawyers, it's $24.95 a month. Yeah, so it's very affordable. I mean, we spend $20 a day, don't we, on coffee at Starbucks?
I
don't
like how
know.
you say
I mean,
that. $20. She's from New York, everybody. $20. It's dollars.
Sorry, dollars.
Dollars. I know you're from New York. Dollars, not dollars. I like that. Oh, anyway.
You know what? Most of my social media people are from New York, so they won't mind my accent.
No. I want to thank you. You know, this is like the 3rd time you've been on the show, and I think it's important for everybody to listen to what Joanne has said. It's really the strongest thing to myself is my daughter or son. That's what draws somebody to it, because it gives them, you know, it gives them just identity, empowerment, just like you said. They're protected, and you don't have to worry by pushing a phone app. I mean, a button.
Right.
And your daughter works at 11 o'clock at night and is getting off, and something happens, you know yourself. It could be anything.
Oh, yeah.
You know, on an accident, they can push it. Does that doesn't notify the family member, does it? Or you get an alert, say if something happens to a family member, will you get, if she pushes the button or do you get an alert on your phone?
Do you mean with Legal Shield?
With Legal Shield, yeah.
No, when you call the attorney, it's between you and the attorney.
It's an attorney. Hey, Bill's from Pittsburgh. Hey, Dave, it's been a while. Thanks, Bill. You know, he's a great colleague, Joanne, to connect on LinkedIn. He knows a lot of stuff, and he's always comes on the show. But again, Joanne, I want to thank you, and I hope everybody, we're going to attach the files to the LinkedIn profiles. There's like 20-some pages. Okay. But really, just print it out and look at it, and then reach out to Joanne. Her email's on there, and we're going to get you set up on that. So are you ready to call it a day?
Yes.
All right. So on that note, everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.